Guys, hello, how are you doing? Um, Bitcoin and crypto is kind of dumping. We're dumping. Now, I did see that some news actually came out. Economic calendar. Yeah, time to stream. Time to dump even more. I hope not. I hope not. Was it this data over here? Came in lower than expected, causing a bit of a dump. But I mean, hey, you know, I've been saying it many times already in the last couple of videos and live streams. This is exactly what I've been saying. I've been saying, okay, I do think right now will be a great moment and range to accumulate at. Right? I've been saying, okay, this is going to be one of your last chances to accumulate some cheap Bitcoin. However, I've been saying it in my video of today. I've been saying it in my live stream of yesterday. I've been saying it during my video of yesterday. Even though I think that this will be a great range to accumulate in. Well, I just think that we could dip our toes a little bit deeper into this level of support. And possibly, we are seeing that right now. Possibly, we are seeing that right now with potentially a bullish divergence starting to get created on the 4-hour time frame. Now, we need to break below that previous low, obviously, in order for that to confirm. So we need to dip our toes a little bit further, a little bit deeper into this level of support. But then we could create a bullish divergence on the RSI indicator. And that would be a very good signal to initiate that long. You know, if that would happen. I'm not sure if it will happen. But this is going to be a very good opportunity if it will happen. I've seen it time and time again. After some short dump to the downside, I'm looking at a buying range. And then you create a bullish divergence, and then we shoot up again. Now, yeah, possibly we could even be creating a double bullish divergence over here and then move to the upside. Or we could already go to the upside right now and form a higher low. So this is the hard thing about trading, right? There would be kind of 3 scenarios I would be looking out for at this moment. And because of that, you know, which one are you going to be waiting for? What are you going to be waiting for, right? Now, the interesting thing about this is that inevitably, we are going to be headed even further to the upside inevitably, in my personal opinion, regardless of what will happen in that shorter time frame, if we will dip lower into this level of support or not. That's why I've been saying this is going to be a bit of a range, accumulation range. Give it some time. It can still take some longer. It can still take a week or two. But eventually I do think we are going to be coming out of this dip stronger than we have entered this dip in. So that is exactly what I've been saying, right? I do think eventually we are going to be coming out of this dip stronger than we entered this dip in. Because we, or I, want to accumulate during this dip. Look, if we're going to bounce right now already, cool, you know, I've got my entries in already. Now, I'm going to talk about altcoins and all of this stuff a bit later. But if we're going to bounce already, well, cool. I've already got my entries in. But if we're gonna dump down even lower, well, cool. I'm not gonna get liquidated, probably. I don't think so. And like I've been going over multiple times already before, well, if we do start to get worried about getting a liquidation over here for my trades, we should have bigger problems about this Bitcoin bull market. We should really have bigger problems about it being finished already over here. But the thing is, I don't think that will happen yet. Because, well, the on-chain metrics are not suggesting that yet. time-wise, we aren't getting suggested that. And price-wise, we aren't getting suggested that either. And also, retail-wise, we're not getting that suggested. So yeah, that's why I'm not that worried about a liquidation. Okay? But I will be having a look into this level of support, which inevitably, either from this level, I think we will bounce. Or if you really want to be very bearish, you could say, okay, have a look into this level of support over here to the lower side of the range. That would be ultimately bearish, the ultimate bear target, in my opinion. But then still, I'm going to be fine with my trades. My trades are going to be fine. Yeah, I'm going to be underwater for a couple of days, for a couple of weeks in my trades. But do I really care that much if in the end of the day I will make a significant profit? Well, I don't really care, to be quite honest. I mean, I've been underwater for much longer, much bigger, with some of my spot bags. So, I do not really care. That's the thing, I want to be accumulating during this range. I've been saying, okay, I do not know where exactly we'll bounce. I honestly don't know. However, I do think eventually we will bounce, and this trend will continue. Because the technicals are looking very good, the charts are looking very good, the data is looking very good. Everything is looking quite alright for me. So that has been my strategy. Nothing has changed about this. I do still think we're going to print a higher low over here. And I think this is the perfect time to go live. This is the perfect time to go live. Guys, here are my positions. Take a screenshot of my positions right now. Because look, I'm going to get to people whenever I'm going to be in a massive profit. I'm going to get people coming into the stream and telling me, oh, you're only showing the positions once they're on a profit. Well, no, I'm also showing you it right now over here once I'm in a loss. You know, and the thing is, you can even get a better entry as me is at this current moment. I mean, I'm already in my trades. If you're watching this now and you're not in any trade right now, you can get a better entry. So yeah, this is going to be my game plan for Bitcoin, kind of. Now, I think altcoins and Ethereum are going to be more interesting. Now, I really like what I see with Ethereum, to be honest. Because at the one side, I would love some more consolidation here. At these current ranges, I would love some more consolidation, if I'm being honest. But I'm not sure how realistic that's going to be. To see one more month of consolidation at these current prices. I'm not really sure if we're going to see that. However, yeah, we're really developing very great over here. And having a look into ETH-BTC, well, we have dumped quite a significant bit, right? But we got back up, and right now we are seeing a bit of a dip again. But nothing to be worried about by this dip. Now, one thing is, we have already seen this previously around right over here, right? We actually saw the same exact thing, quite honestly. With the range being created. Now, is this going to be repeating again? That I'm not sure. I mean, like we know, history doesn't always repeat, but it certainly rhymes. I do think eventually we are creating a bit of a range here, and eventually we will break it to the upside. But that doesn't mean that we necessarily need to exactly follow the line like we did over here with the fake break to the downside, etc. So that I'm not sure if we will do that. However, yeah, I do think we are creating some kind of a range, undeniably, right? And eventually we are going to be breaking it to the upside. I really like what I see with Ethereum because Bitcoin is showing some weakness, right? Quite honestly. And yeah, maybe today Ethereum has been showing a bit of weakness too on ETH-BTC. But yesterday we got back up. This is looking very good. And in the grand scheme of things, we are still on an uptrend here for ETH-BTC. Or we just broke this downtrend into an uptrend here. And we just put in a major pivot in the market. So in a grand scheme of things, I really like what I see. I mean, back in the days where we got these drops for Bitcoin, these minus 2% drops, well, altcoins would have went down by so much that the Bitcoin dominance was instantly going to return all the way to these previous highs over here. But right now, we're not really getting that anymore. We are seeing relatively a bit more strength for the altcoins. Keep in mind, right over here, I still remember it very good. Right over here, it was okay. Bitcoin was doing good all the time, and boom, boom, boom. I mean, altcoins were just going with it. Eventually, Bitcoin started to perform a little bit worse, you know? And then, altcoins started bleeding again. Money started to rotate back from altcoins into Bitcoin. But right now, Bitcoin is starting to perform a little bit worse. And yeah, some capital is flowing back into Bitcoin, but not like we saw over here, where we instantly went back to the upside. Here is like a lot slower of a consolidation. And like I've always said, right? First we see the initiation, then the consolidation, and then the real alt season. So we've had the initiation, arguably. Right now we're just seeing some consolidation, maybe 1 or 2 months, and then the real alt season. Then like really the big explosive gains. Now I want to be talking about some specific altcoins a bit later. However, also for example for the total 3, I mean, how can you be bearish over here? Yeah, I get it. Maybe in a shorter time frame we're selling off a bit. And people don't like it. People are losing money in the short term and they think, it's over. We're going to zero again. And once you see a plus 4% pump, people think, we're headed to the moon again. Tomorrow all season is starting. But if you just zoom out, it's always holds up well. Once in doubt, just zoom out. And if you see the grand scheme of things, if you see what is happening in the bigger picture, well, for the total 3, isn't this looking amazing? With this cup, with this handle, and right now some consolidation at resistance, waiting to get a breakout. And when we do get this breakout, guys, I think it will explode. So isn't this looking amazing? I think this is looking very good. So people may get fearful right now, but I don't think that right now is going to be the time to be fearful. I myself will definitely be interested in buying up this range here. You are showing that ETH is going to crash and you are just going around with no conclusion. What? Have I shown that Ethereum is going to crash? I didn't show that Ethereum is about to crash, man. Bitcoin. I was telling Bitcoin might dip its toes a little bit deeper inside of this level of support. But regardless, this is going to be a range for buying, not for selling. And however deep and however low Bitcoin wants to go here, I'm going to be accumulating it, because I'm still in the camp of people that believe that we're still trading in a bull market and we're still about to see higher highs this cycle. So that's the first thing with Bitcoin. And yeah, I've shown ETH BTC, so it's basically Ethereum compared to BTC. And I was sharing with you that I think ETH BTC is trading in a shorter time frame in a very healthy range. This is on the 10-hour time frame. It doesn't really matter that much if we would go back to the bottom side of the range. Where it would really hurt is if we would break below these previous highs again. Okay? Then, if that happens, then it would really hurt. Because then it's okay, like, we have seen a major deviation in a larger trend. And that trend is still just going to be to the downside. But this is going to be that point. But for ETH BTC, right now, I mean, this would be very healthy to see a bit of a range. And then eventually break it to the upside. So, and like I always say, I don't know exactly what will happen on the 1 hour. I can try to make some guesses. Look, I can try to guess. Oh, we might see a bullish divergence, maybe even a double bullish divergence. I might try to guess that, but there are like 1,000 options here. But the only option in the longer term for me will be that no matter how low Bitcoin will drop in a shorter time frame, I think we will go higher anyway. So that is the option I want to trade. Not, oh, are we going to head a little bit lower and are we going to bounce here or are we going to bounce here? No, that's not the thing I want to trade. I want to trade this move to the upside regardless of how low Bitcoin is going to go. That is how I like to trade. That is how I like to trade. That has been most profitable for me. Anyways, let's go over this because here are some alpha guys on some altcoins. Because maybe people don't like it. Maybe people don't like it when I talk about it at these lows right now. But I think these are going to be the best times to have a look into altcoins, while nobody is willing to have a look into it. And Trader PA has done some absolute amazing research today. Aptos was on my radar for a longer time, but I really like what I see with this altcoin, and probably nobody will be interested because it's going down, and when it's going down, nobody will be interested. But I can guarantee you, whenever it will go up, everybody will be talking about Aptos again. And nobody got their entries in the bottom, but everybody will be buying it at the highs again. And everybody on the socials will say, oh, I bought it at the bottom, but I can tell you, no, they didn't. Most of them didn't. Anyways, I really like what I see with this coin here. First, this was already a couple of days ago, 5 days ago. The chart over here is looking great for Aptos with an accumulation range. And you know what reminds me of this chart when I see this? It really reminds me of INA. With like here, these massive highs. And then a tight range at the bottom side. There, this range was absolutely the same. And you know, INA didn't pump that crazy yet. But definitely, it did some good returns, right? So yeah, this chart really reminds me of INA. I think it will follow a similar path because of this. But what's really nice is I always like to combine charts and price with fundamentals and narratives. I like the layer 1 narrative because of the money flow. Whenever Ethereum will be pumping like massively, people will have a look into Aptos. Now I do like the backing Aptos has got, and it's a higher cap. So that's basically the narrative. However, the metrics are insane. Look at the TVL, how much it has been exploding, right? It's been going up again ever since. And prices have been reflecting this. Look at the app. Oh, you can't completely see it. There we go. Look at our app revenue. It's exploding. Look at, for example, their DEX's volume. Right? It's also exploding. So yeah, there's some major adoption on Aptos. And what reminds me of that is Hyperliquid. Because on this bottom on Hyperliquid here, and Trader PA has called this exact bottom over here on Hyperliquid. Well, on that bottom, we have seen the same exact thing. Metrics started to go up. We have seen an accumulation range at the bottom, while everybody was fearful and everybody has been selling off. And then eventually it just bounced and it just flied to the moon. And everybody at the tops were saying, oh yeah, I've got my bottom entry over here at this bottom. But believe me, most of them haven't bought at the bottom. But yeah, we are going to buy, or I am going to buy Aptos right now at the bottom over here. While everybody is ignoring it now, I think it's looking like a great opportunity. And I will for sure be buying a lot of Aptos for my spot portfolio. So yeah, many people will be ignoring this, but I won't. I will have a look into this. That's what I like. That's what I like about trading and investing. You can just have a look into patterns, similarities of previous coins. Just on-chain analysis, because everything is on public on an open ledger. You can have a look into the metrics of the coin, like DEX volume, etc. And once it's exploding, and you're creating an accumulation range on a major bottom, while alt season is inevitable, and the money rotation is just getting started. Well, I'm just connecting the dots. That's the thing. That's what I like. I mean, and nobody is seeing it. Everybody is just seeing the chart and is thinking, oh, it's going down. It's going down. It will go down forever. Everybody is just acting upon their emotions. But when I have a deeper look into these things, like Aptos over here, I'll just see what's going on behind the scenes. And I like it. Anyways, what is Bitcoin doing? Not that much, right, on a 1 minute time frame here. Maybe a double bottom for all of you guys scalping the Bitcoin prices here. Bonk is crashing. Are you buying Aptos? Yeah. Don't get cooked, no. What is the lowest you expect for this dump? Well, I myself wouldn't think we are going to dump below the 110.2k. Maybe 107.4. But after that, like the absolute lowest, I think would be 103.7. Maybe, but something really huge needs to happen for this, like some huge event in the world, but like maybe 98. But I would not expect that. And after that, it's gonna be very dangerous. It's gonna be very dangerous. Yeah. For all altcoins, we haven't had a proper bull market yet. I mean, yeah, no. I mean, look at the total tree, right? This is basically the altcoin market cap. Like, total tree has been going up. Like, okay, yeah, not as much as Bitcoin, but if you've been around the block, it's hard to be in a loss this cycle, even if you invest in altcoins. Because yeah, the total tree has been going up massively. But yeah, there's so much more to gain this cycle still. How long do you think the dip lasts? Well, I've been saying it first, right? At 1st of August, I was thinking 1 or 2 weeks. So that would be maybe until the end of next week, maximum, I think. XDC price targets, bro. Let's check up on XDC. What is it doing? Is it dumping? Is it still pumping? Did it get rejected? Thank you for the donation, by the way. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so still, it's really having trouble at this level here, right? See? But I would still consider, yeah, it's holding up quite well, man. If I'm being honest, it's holding up quite well. So I would still stick with my theory because it's showing strength here at the level of resistance. I mean, that's looking bullish, right? So I would still say, as long as we're not gonna get a heavy rejection from this level, well, I would still say eventually, once the market will start to get better, we will break above it. And this is going to be your first target, that previous 2025 January high. Sitting at the 14.6 cents, maybe 15 cents. After that, optimize. So 18.7 cents. And after that, have a look in some FIP levels. That would be huge. Like maybe 31 cents. But it's possible. It's possible. In a real proper all season. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree. That's the thing. You know, we could already bounce here. I mean, people really thought it was already over here. Then we bounce, and then people think, oh, we're so back again. We are at it higher again. Then we dump again. People think, oh, yeah, we're going to zero again. You know? And then just pile in the shorts, consolidate here for a while, and then boom. You know, but that's the thing. Like, yeah, that could happen, but we could also still go lower, create a bullish divergence, then go. Or even create a double bullish divergence. That's why I just don't know in that shorter time frame. Yeah, I've seen it many times that this happens. I've also seen that this happens many times. I've also seen that this happens many times. And for example, I have even seen this happening many times. Going back to the range and then going back even further and then boom. And then go up. So yeah, you just don't know. Oh, you can't see it. So yeah, you just don't know. You don't know. Like, unless you know what news is gonna come out in a shorter time frame. But the thing is, for me, it's very clear. Because it doesn't matter what happens here. For me, I know in the end of the day, we're gonna come out of it stronger than these lows over here. So yeah, regardless of how low we're gonna dip, I want to be buying that. And I do want to put in a bit of a buy here. Let me have a look. Aptos has also been dumping a bit. That's nice. One 7 5 0 3. There we go. This is also looking pretty nice. Nah. Let's keep it. Let's keep it real. Oh. $111.4. Then we've got 110.4. Then we've got 109.7. Yeah, would be nice. Would be pretty nice to come down to fill them. I don't know if you took any notes over there by the levels, but yeah, I myself just put in some buy orders. That's what I've done myself. Would be pretty nice if I could get filled like overnight. I'm just gonna keep this open. All right, great. Great, there we go. Anyways, I do want to tell to you guys, well, I've just put in some orders, but one thing is going to be for certain. Well, if you're interested in trading, definitely claim this free trade over here over on Weeks. It's a free trade you can claim right now. For the people that don't know how to do it, well, there's a video tutorial over here, and you will also get included the 30k deposit bonus and 25% trading fee discount on already the lowest fees out there, no KYC. Current best exchange out there, so definitely make sure to check it out. BNB is also still kind of holding up well. That's very nice. Secure. I'm not sure what you mean exactly by in what ways secure, but yeah, what I found, they're pretty secure. Like, is there gonna be a hack incoming? Well, that obviously nobody knows. Of course, I think the chances are as high as, for example, with Coinbase. But like, yeah, they've got proof of reserves and they're not doing anything shady with like counter trading against their users or anything like that, like some of the other exchanges are doing. they're using separate market making, so they don't have their market making in-house to trade against their traders. Using third party for that, so yeah, I would say it's a lot more secure than any other exchange. It's definitely the best exchange out there for many of you guys. A small bounce here, probably first ever pump. I mean, guys, we have had some pumps before, not many big ones, but yeah. What was the news? We've got this ISM services PMI. But yeah, I think market has kind of overreacted from this, if I'm being honest, right? Kind of crazy. Definitely an overreaction, in my opinion. In my personal opinion, like I want to be buying this. Yeah, me too, man. I hope we can grow to the 100k subs. What is the plan now? Are we going down? Well, my plan is to buy during this dip. Mm. Retail is just naturally skittish, freeze out when the price stalls after entry. Yeah, and then that's what happens. Um, 3,520 is pretty near. It's not like you've got a lot of room and margin. You know, the thing is, Ethereum will just follow Bitcoin over here, and Bitcoin could still liquidate here and create a bullish divergence, right? Or like, and then Ethereum is just gonna follow. And if this happens with Bitcoin here, then yeah, Ethereum is just gonna follow. It's gonna take you out. But of course, there's also that chance where we're reversing now. That's why I don't like to trade that imminent short term over here, because I just don't know which one of these scenarios is gonna play out. I just don't know. If you guys know, then let me know. Let me know. Then I'll wait for my buys and place them at your guys' level. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, it doesn't look like with this in indeed like joke position, like you're trading with it. more like gambling. And I mean, just try out your luck if you're gambling, right? If you're going to the casino, you're going to the casino knowing that probably you're gonna lose. Maybe you're gonna win. I mean, nobody goes to the casino. I mean, nobody with the right mind goes to the casino thinking, oh, tonight I'm gonna become a millionaire, right? At least I don't hope so. But if you have the same mindset to your gamble trade, is what I would call it, like probably it will get shaken out, but maybe I can test my luck. You know, if you want to trade for real, then just stick to your plan and strategy and outline your strategy and plan and stick to that. But if you want to gamble, yeah, then you can compound on the way down and you open up high leverage trades with liquidations near you, you know? Show me your track record, man. Can we panic? Yeah, we could, but I'm not sure. I don't want to panic myself. Yeah, I get you. Why dumping? I think the market is just dumping because of this news here, and because the stock market is still quite uncertain. So yeah, stock market. I mean, stock market is already kind of bouncing back over here, right? Bitcoin is just overreacting here. Bitcoin is heavily overreacting. Yeah, I think that's not good. It's pretty dangerous. But also, I don't think that because they've sold once, we should pack our bags and sell everything. I think it would be something we need to monitor and you know, track if the trend were to continue where their ETF flows are getting exhausting, like exhaustive, and they're going to be slowing down the inflows, maybe possibly lead into outflows in a grand scheme of things. If it's really gonna change and it's gonna become a trend shift, well then we should be worried about it. But just one time seeing a red day for ETFs, I don't think that would mean we need to come crash down now immediately. Yeah, man, I get you. I get you. Bitcoin is dumping a lot. Yeah. Yeah, no. Yes and no. 7x on your Bitcoin return. Or a spot 7x leverage. Yeah, alts are definitely holding up quite well during this dip. That's looking good. Exactly what we want to see. Oh, with alts, yeah. Layer 2s will go up like AVAX. Oh, outperform AVAX Aptos. Well, what layer 2 would you invest into right now? Maybe Arbitrum. But I don't think Arbitrum can pull the multiples, for example, Aptos can do. So yeah, I do think Aptos will outperform. Do you think layer 2s like... Oh, sorry. It has more chance of bouncing at the previous support dip and making a shoulder. Yeah, like, like you mean maybe an inverse head and shoulders, but I think that would be kind of too late. It doesn't look very good anymore. On a 3-month. I don't see it, man. On the 3-month, memorizes and go back to the 1 day. But like, I don't see anything similar. Like, oh, like that. Oh, here, it's like this. I mean, over here we're creating higher, right? And over on the 3-month we went lower. Optimism. Well, I like Arbitrum more myself. I like Arbitrum more. Not the inverse. You mean here in the head and shoulders? But for me, this is on the too low of a time frame for me. Anyways, guys, I will wrap up the stream again. I just wanted to quickly go live with a shorter one. I don't know, for most of you guys, if you're panicking, just calm you guys down a little bit, you know, during this dip. Call exactly what I'll be doing, tell you exactly what I'll be doing during this dip. So, yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna end off the stream for today. I hope you guys are having a good one, and yeah, all I can say is that I will just be accumulating during this dip, and I think we're gonna come out of this dip stronger than we did enter this dip in. So yeah, all in all, it's all good. Still looking very good for me. Everything is still looking clean, and everything is still playing out. Stock market is bouncing. Let's see if Bitcoin will follow over here. Anyways, of course, do not forget all of the deals down below and join the Platinum group, because then you'll be up to date about all of the most recent alphas. And with that being said, I also claim that 1k Ethereum trade with that link down below, and 30k deposit bonus and 25% trading fee discount. And with that being said, guys, I'll see you in another update video tomorrow morning, and of course on the inside of the Platinum group. And guys, bye bye.